Hey, as you guys read over abortion, you'll start with why abortion is immoral on page 85. I want you to pay particular attention to the author's argument rather than whether or not you think abortion is right or not. Okay, so Don Marquis goes through why he thinks abortion is immoral. Does he have good justifications? I'll give you a particular part. He talks about a pro-choice argument and an anti-abortion argument, and he does not, in my opinion, clearly articulate a pro-choice argument. He doesn't mention, I think, the main reasons people are pro-choice, but that's not necessarily super important. And then he also talks about future and the future of someone and how denying somebody of their future is one of the worst things you can do to somebody. And we can debate whether that's true or not. But there's other things that we do besides abortion that deprive people of their future, right? We may incarcerate them, or these kinds of things. And is that depriving someone of their future? Is that what he means? He also doesn't make any case for why humans should be treated above animals. He doesn't mention it at all. I mean, he mentions non-human animals, but he doesn't really clearly explain why humans should get special treatment. So if we kill any animal, we're also depriving them of their future. How does that fit into his argument? So those are kind of questions I want you to think about. A defense of abortion is on page 92. Judith Jarvis Thompson, of course, believes that abortion should be allowed, and she gives an example of a famous violinist. The main gist of her argument, her analogy is pretty good, and then the main gist of her argument is when you look at the two ideas of right to body and right to life, which one of those is the most important? And various people can make arguments that your right to life is important, but if you don't have a right to decide what is done to your body, are you living much of a life, right? So you could imagine too, if you are tortured or if you're enslaved, one of these things, is that okay? So is life the most important thing? And if life is more important, if preserving life is more important than giving somebody liberty, then you could say that you are pro-life. That would make sense. But if not, it doesn't really make sense that you would do that. And she gives the example of a violinist. Is it okay for somebody to borrow your body if they need to in order to survive? Should that be something that is legally allowed? But above that, should that be something that is morally allowed? Because if life trumps right to body, that makes sense. So those are just a couple questions for you guys to consider as you read over these two chapters. Of course, let me know if you have any questions.